Welcome back to the channel. You are now in my paper time machine. Where are we? Where are we going? Well, to be precise, June 1996. This is a Mad magazine. I had to do it. I saw this at a local comic book store, and I had to do it. It was $5. They still make these, by the way. They still publish their. You can still buy these. I saw a brand new one. 96 are price 250 cheap, 350 in Canada. What's that guy's name? So, I mean, my relationship with this, I'm gonna give some, I guess, pop culture commentary, and this is also discovery for me because I just bought this. I haven't looked through it at all. But I mean, these were everywhere. I mean, a convenience store, come on, drugstores. They, I guess, kind of still are. I think now it's more of a specialty thing where maybe a comic book store or a bookstore. But back in the 90s, and I'm sure before that, before my time, just, every newsstand everywhere, right? It was just kind of like that wacky, goofy. I don't think it was quite counterculture as far as the level of bizarro, but there's a lot of spoof, right? Like lampooning and spoof, that kind of stuff, making fun of public figures, um, stuff like that. So let's just dig in, shall we? So we are in now June 1996. I personally was 16, so I just learned to drive. Hell yeah! I think I got a job at a convenience store as I'd stock the stuff. I did for like a couple weeks or a month, and then I quit. All right, just because you missed the last issue, why kill yourself? Subscribe to Mad. Call Mad Mag. Use a handy postcard. It's still there. Probably still works. It's fun. It's just kind of a odd feeling to not see a website or .com. It's a simpler time, folks. But isn't that weird? Look at this. There's no .com, /org, blog, Facebook, whatever. It looks kind of weird, not just seeing that stuff, the bottom and the, whatever, literature, the fine print. And you're not going to see it. This is 96. This is too early, right? I don't think you're going to see anything. This feels like it's all newsprint. Man, it's gonna be hard to read. Hot dog. Man, I'm trying to read this through my camera. What are these jokes? Let me just read one of these freaking things. And I apologize. I'm just reading this, so I apologize if this offends anyone. I'm not here to offend. I'm here to entertain. But I gotta be true to the art and the author. All right, let me just read one. Stocking market hits new low. A woman at the auto parts store told me that a run in one's pantyhose can be patched with a bit of nail polish. I tried this, and it stopped the run all right, but it looks like a big glossy drop of blood. Was I stupid to take her advice? James Reynolds III, Houston, Texas. I guess is the answer. Jimbo, your mistake was not in asking a woman in an auto parts store for advice. Your mistake was in wearing pantyhose in the first place. Everyone knows that black fishnet stockings are the preferred hose of discriminating cross-dressing child big boy. Ed. So it's like a cross-dressing joke there. What else we got? I think you should make a 3D issue of Mad. I want to read a new Mad and see what it's like. I mean, I never read old ones. They were just something that your cousin had or someone had, and you'd see it. I never personally read these, but they were just. I think there's like a fold-out page though. Isn't there like a page in the back that folds? I think that was a thing that I can recall. Smelling. I love it already. Smelling. Larry Sanders. That's old school. This is 92? 96, pardon me. 96. God, I was 16. How old were you? So I just got my license to drive, and I was learning how to play the double bass and learning jazz and studying it very hard, like very seriously. And I was thrilled to get the keys to my parents' old Jeep and just drive downtown Cleveland and just start playing, sitting in when I was 16 and like befriending the older guys who were much older than me, but cool enough to take me under their wing. And they're like, EJ, you know, you're 16 and this is a bar and you're here by yourself. You can kind of get in trouble, but they were like cool. We had, you know, they had this thing worked out where the cops came in, but I never got in trouble. You know what I mean? Everything was cool. It was just worried about, you know, a minor being in a bar. I just got in the car and just drove. You know, I had to get to where I could learn and play music. And I had those struggles now living in a small town. There's no clubs in my like area. Any kind of like club local that I can just kind of drive easily to, because time is tight for me. Let's see here. All right, let's read this. This looks funny. What you're missing when you miss the local news. 12:30 p.m. The cooking segment in which a chef from a local restaurant shows you how easy and inexpensive it is to put together a dish on his menu for $22.95. Spam. Ugh. 12:34 p.m. She says to the screen, "May I call you Meathead, Mr. Reiner?" Satellite interview. Sorry, I lost my grip. Satellite interview with Hollywood celebrity hyping his current project and showing the effects of being asked the same cliche questions by the previous 36 local news anchors. I admit it's got to be I don't admit like it hasn't happened to me, but it's got to be annoying if you're worth being interviewed and you have to do it a lot, like you're famous or important or both. You gotta put up like local news. I played like when I was in high school, like the local news in Cleveland. Like you have to get up at 1:30 a.m. and just sit backstage, and then you play. And they're overly enthusiastic. The local news people have more enthusiasm than your local realtor, and that's concerning. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of skip around because, you know, otherwise it just gets bogged down. If it's really good, we'll hit them all, but 12:18 p.m. Chuck is standing by with the News 9 weather bulletin. The up-to-the-minute weather report gathered from the local U.S. Weather Service office, which in fact shut down for lunch about 45 minutes ago. Magazine. TV dinner. That's the 90s, so there you go, right there. That's the 90s, mid-90s TV. It's not thin, it's not fat, it's in the middle. And they still wait a lot. They wait a lot. Is this what? Wizard of Oz? The Flim Flam Man Department. Newt Gingrich Video Club. I'm not going to read all that. Order form. I love the order form stuff because to me it's like the time capsule stuff. What is this? Statistical breakdown of mad subscriber cancellations. That's funny. I love it. 5% liberals outraged at our conservative slant. Is there an angle to this? See, I don't even know. Is there a conservative or a liberal angle to mad? I didn't even think about that. See how innocent I am, folks? All right. 8% Dan Quayle fans who just got the first joke we did about it back in 1988. So Dan Quayle was the vice president for George Bush Sr., Papa Bush. And he was just like the butt of all jokes for, you know, his term in office. And it was just it was great. He was like a troupe, a comic troupe. 10% homeboys expecting more articles on bitches and hoes. Let's see. 18% people. Now these are people. The statistical breakdown of Mad subscriber cancellations. This is a 1996 Mad magazine. 18% of people who finally figured out how much we suck. 6% dentists with enough old issues now to keep their waiting rooms stocked till 2017, which is now past. It's a bizarre feeling when you see a future, be it sci-fi or comedy or anything, movie or print, future projection, and we've long passed that year. It's like, God, dog. I don't know. It's like you think about, am I better off? Is it better than I thought? And the car's not flying yet. Elon Musk is doing a pretty good job of making them look like the future should. You know what I mean? Car design seem to be stagnant. Like, I have old cars. My car's like approaching 15 years old. Soon they'll become vintage, and I'm excited about that, because then the value starts to creep up. And I have patience. But since 2000, I mean, think back in your imagination. 2000, what? After 9/11, 2005, even 2003 or 4, you shedded all that late 90s, or pardon me, like the 80s was that square boxiness was pretty much all gone. And then, think about like Ford Taurus and like the I'm drawing a blank, but just how the cars, the Volkswagens, how they took a curvy nature, like a water drop almost look, like how they look. The Pontiac Aztek is like a crossover. The Pontiac Aztek now looks normal. When it came out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, it looks so weird." Now it's a crossover. You know what I mean? It's like a Honda CR-V. And cars still look the same. So I mean, at least I feel. But maybe other people are like, "Look at that guy's old car." But I feel like my car is like from my cars are from like 2010, 2009, and they run great. Gotta change the oil. But I feel like the design isn't that different. It's not like it's a car from 1982 versus a car from, what's the difference? Let's just say 1985 to the year 2000. It's a big difference in the car design. But I feel like it hasn't happened yet. But when you see Elon Musk stuff, it's like, it's polarizing, but that's kind of like the way it is. I don't like new cars. I think it's me personally, I think it's a tremendous waste of money. But I'm curious to see how, just like this total side rabbit hole, I'm curious to see how Teslas hold up. Especially like in places like where I live in like Ohio, or like North Ohio, where they, Northeast Ohio, where they salt the roads with like salt from under Lake Erie, and your cars rust, and it can cause trouble, and I don't know. But it would be cool to have maybe like in the future, in like 15 years, a super beat up Cybertruck, like just beat to hell. You know what I mean? I don't even care if electronics work, like the whatever, the computer talks to me or whatever. That's just that'll make me mad, actually. I want to turn that off. But just like, I mean, they look, and like the chrome or that stainless steel's got a pretty cool vibe. And I can fit a bunch of crap in the back. I lovingly call my antiques crap and junk, but I love them. So I think like a beat up, rusty, dented Cybertruck could be cool looking in the future. And then resale value, what's that gonna happen, down the line? Gotta wait and see. A mad look at the emergency room. I don't want to look at that. Just a side note about me, something about blood freaks me out. Just so everyone knows more about me, get to know EJ. And it's not like you see a spider and you're like, "Oh my God, it's a spider," and I see blood and I'm like, "Ah." No, I go into some kind of like psychological reaction where I lose my vision. It becomes like grainy, like kind of like the old school TVs, how it was like black and white fuzz when like you unplugged your TV or lost the cable. Like I think I'm blacking out, and then I go into like I overheat, like I'm sweating, I have like impending doom. I have to lay down. I think I'm dying. Like I really think I'm dying. But I know what's going on. I'm triggered this like reaction. But I feel like it's horrible. I hope no one else has this. I don't know why I have it. And it lasts about a half hour. And then the worst part is like it switches. So like I'm like profusely sweating. I feel like I'm dying and I can't see. And then I start all of a sudden get the chills and I'm sopping wet from sweating. And then I have no energy. Like it's the worst. And like it takes me like all said and done like 35 minutes to get around the mountain and then like kind of come back. I gotta like drink water and like eat like an apple. God, blood. That's all I can do. I can't see it. I mean, I can just I just talk about it and that's it. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it, but that's just one thing. Like hospital stuff, anything that can go down that road, I just have to steer clear of. I gotta be careful. You know what I mean? Like if I'm driving and something triggers me, I could just pass out and crash my car. You know what I mean? Hurt someone, myself or whatever. So like when I was and if someone else has this, chime in. I don't know how to overcome it. I definitely can't become a medical doctor. That's definitely out. I wouldn't want to. But it's out of the question. Like I would just drop the first day of like college. I'd be on the ground. They'd probably think I'm a heroin addict. That's my fear. So I'm a skinny guy. Like wow, I have all these like things going through my head. Like, I'm a skinny guy. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. But I'm skinny, and I realize that I think this through. Like, what if I think about blood, or I see blood, and I'm at the grocery store, and I have to lay down, and I'm sweating profusely, and I can't talk. They're gonna be like, "Sir, they're probably gonna call the cops on me. Like this guy's on drugs or something." And I'll be like, "No, don't call the cops," because I don't want to. They'll take me to the hospital. You know what I mean? And I'm like, "It's like the last place I want to be." So this is what I gotta deal with every day. These thoughts. Welcome to me, right? But hey, everyone's got something. So I got to be careful. Like that, when I was living in China, and then I'll move on. But I was living in China, and I was pretty cool because I just was so in depth. I dove into my music so much, and I was always busy rehearsing with bands, and writing music, and learning new music, and touring, and teaching. I was just so busy with that. I loved it. And then I had to test my blood type. I don't even know what I had, so I had to get tested. And all the nurses in China were laughing at me in Shanghai at the hospital because I was having a very hard time. And they're all giggling at me. Oh, that sucked. I gotta be careful though, because if I trigger it now, it'll be bad. All right. What is this? Penny pincher. Is this a joke? The neighborhood penny pincher. Is this a real? Smiling Sam's used motel. This is great. All I gotta do is read it. Smiling Sam's used motel furniture barn. I love it. Oh my God, this is awesome. Saggy in the middle mattress, $25. Yeah, I'll take 2. Eisenhower era Formica dinette set, $3. Looks ratty. Cigarette smoke infested sofa chairs, $15. Look at that smoke just wafting off there. What else we got? Pressed cardboard dresser and chest, $1. This looks sad. What else you got? Lime green extra deep pile shag carpet, 39 cents per yard. That's hilarious. Oh my God. The penny pincher cluttering up doorways and front lawns since 1981. That's freaking hilarious. Smiling Sam's used motel furniture barn. You know, it smells like maple syrup and nicotine. Oh. That's so funny. We got. Should I attempt to read this? Oh my God. What are these guys? I advertise in the penny pincher because the people who even bother to open this rag are exactly the kind of gullible morons I need as customers. Mr. X at the Schmo Shop Discount Auto Repair. This is funny. This is like The Onion, right? I haven't read that. I think that's left. I mean, I'm not here to judge left or right, but this got me thinking like, oh yeah, like cause when I was back then, I didn't think about that. Like what, what angle Mad was, I'm not getting political, but that's something I just didn't think about. What is this? Yeah. All right, let's read this next guy. I advertise in the penny pincher because, look at this guy. It's the way. It's way less expensive than advertising those newspapers that people actually read. That's dated, right? Newspapers are gone almost. Next guy, and the last guy. I advertise in the penny pincher because the crappy looking ad I let my non-talent son-in-law draw up just to save a few bucks fits right in with the cheap layouts and graphics. Smiling Sam of Smiling Sam's used motel furniture barn. He is smiling. That's hilarious. So funny. Hey kids. What is this? I gotta read ahead really quick. I don't want to lose my YouTube channel. I've been working so hard. Read some stupid, I don't know, what is this? Dirt. I don't know. I think I'm getting slap happy. That barn thing is funny. Because I've been to places like that. Like legitimately where it's like sagging in the middle. The mattress. There's a price tag on it. You had the courage to put a price tag on it. And then someone had the bravery to buy it. I'll tell you my scariest mattress story right now. Nangua Bingwan. Nangua Bingwan is non-land, like Southland Motel. I was in Guangzhou, China. I was on tour with a really good group of musicians, a drummer from Taiwan and a guitar player from Hong Kong and a singer from Thailand, and me on bass guitar. Traveling like mainland China and Hong Kong, just doing gigs, like coffee shops and stuff, or like bars and fancy restaurants. And the hotels, you always get your own room, and when you travel in China on tour, because traveling in China is really affordable. Hotel rooms are plentiful, and there's a million business hotels, so everyone gets their own room. When I was younger in the U.S., you had like share rooms if you wanted to save some money with like the band. That that could be a drag really fast because you want privacy, whatever. Or someone's feet stinks or whatever. So in China, you get your own room. It's cool. And we stayed in Nangua Bingwan, and I mean right from the start, you walk in, you're tired, and you walk in. There's commotion in the lobby, and you get your room, and like it's a small room, but it's okay. And it smells like a ashtray, and like the toilet paper roll's wet. Like, oh no, and they only give you one in China. Like, you only get, and it's like that big, like that diameter toilet paper roll. That's how with the paper on it, and it was wet. Like, I don't even know. You know what I mean? And then like to order a new one's kind of like a big ordeal. You gotta call the maid and stuff, and you gotta wait. You know what I mean? And then all night there's just like pounding on the walls, and you know what I mean? Scratching. The mattress is just stains in the walls, stains everywhere. Man, back then I used to drink, and I would you got to drink after the gig, just try to drink yourself to sleep, because it's like, oh man, you're worried about a lot, you know what I mean, on this mattress, but you're tired, and there's no alternative at this point, because you gotta go to bed, it's late. And strangers knocking at the door, and it's just, there's commotion in the hallways, and there's bugs, and so I fell asleep at Nangua Bingwan, and when I woke up, it's like a 3 or 2 second window of just relaxation and peace until you realize where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, oh god, and then you stiffen up, like, God no, and then like you just jump out of bed, like that's it, and you're like, and that Nangua Bingwan. That had to be like there's like dead fish in like the like in the fish tank in the lobby floating upside down. Welcome, you know what I mean? That kind of vibe. And the whole place just smelled like an ashtray. I mean, just because chain smoking is very it's like like a social norm for men in China still. So that's my story of my scariest hotel experience. I mean, that was man, that was it was what's the adjective I'm looking for? I don't know. But that's been a Mad Magazine look through that kind of went off the rails a little bit. But 1996 June. Now this is the only one I have. Oh wait, this. No, I'm sorry for those of you who are like looking forward to me like looking through this, as I should. I'm just yakking away. I had a cup of coffee. What is this? I don't want to put this down and then look at this later and be like, oh, hag nagget, I should have read that part. So let me see. Frugal Fred's Just Average Market. Just average. Frugal Fred's Just Average Market. And I love these places. I'm sure your town's got one like mine. Like Frugal Fred's, some adjective, then some guy's name, and you can go there and it's cheap stuff and it kind of smells weird. 7-day-old potato salad, see? Ew, God, that's nasty. Grey Poupon, kind of fuzzy. Ground, make New York, make an offer. Old generic beer. $1.99. Loose fiber. 29 cents a handful. This is hilarious. Loose fiber. They just keep taking it. Pre-oven ripened black bananas, 5 cents a pound. Those things are spent. Oh, the funniest one in my farm is my opinion was loose fiber. Do I have any comments about this? That's funny. 70 potato salad. God, dog it. The only thing I can think of is that I know some in the reselling world. I think some people will go out and find cereal that is soon to be discontinued, like I don't know, like Frosted Flakes Hollywood or Frosted Flakes Halloween pumpkin spice marshmallow, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's around for 2 months and they pull it off and it doesn't come back until next year, or maybe never again. And people get obsessed with like a flavor. There's got to be a word for these people, flavor obsessors, and they got to have it. I get it, you know what I mean? I freak out when my favorite hot sauce is gone or whatever. I get it. And then the resellers have honed in on these vulnerable folks, and they go and buy at places like Frugal Fred's, Just Average Market. They'll go and just grab all like the seasonal Halloween cereal or Christmas cereal with the intent to resell it. And I thought about the what's the word of that? I'm not here to judge, but like I couldn't do it because food's a different thing. Then you gotta worry about vermin, like where we store it. If you got a storage unit, is that storage unit clean? I mean, yours might be, but is your neighbor's unit clean? I mean, so it changed everything. And then like if someone got sick from the cereal, it's like they're gonna come after my company or me. It's like I don't want to deal with it. Just give me an old primitive boot jack, and I'll sell that. Let's see what else we got, because these are kind of, I guess these look so normal. I'm like, let's just move along. But this is funny. Now we got Novocaine. That's funny. Let's see. 5 guys named Murray. Tax. I love this kind of stuff. Excuse me. 5 guys named Murray. Tax preparers. Introductory offer. Use us and get $100 off your federal taxes. Murray 1. They're just Murray 1. That's funny. 5 guys. That's like legit. You know what I mean? That name could be for real. I like that. Frugal Fred's. That ring. That's funny. Happy Collins. Kind of like this. What else we got up here? Is more Frugal Fred's? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I missed it. Okay, I gotta do one page at a time. Dented and bulging canned goods, 9 cents each. Brown peppers. What's that? Brown peppers. Oh, formerly green or red or I don't know. That's funny. Used Duracell batteries. Used ones. That's risky. Last month's TV guides, 2 for $1. I still see these things. I'm sure the kids these days have no clue about what. And those were a big deal. I mean, every couch. I mean, there's gotta be a stack. If you stack those, everyone that's ever produced and printed, you could probably stack it from here to the moon. 'Cause every couch in the USA had one every a week or whatever. God, dog it. It was just like what the go-to thing to look at when you want to talk to someone, or like you just want to there's no phones back then. Jeez Louise. I see them now and I don't even glance at them because there can't be any value, is there? Prove me wrong, but just because there's too many of them. How could there be value? It's like an Avon bottle. I hate to hate on anything vintage or antique, but Avon bottles, I think just do it a favor and throw it away. I'm half serious, half kidding, because there's just so much Avon stuff out there. It's incredible. I've been to garage sales where it's like half half a fairground size, and the person was hoarding Avon. And that's just one person, and it's just like tables of Avon, tables. And you'll see just shelves of it at thrift stores, just Avon. I think I've sold in my life as a professional vintage and antique dealer, I think 2 Avon things. Maybe for sure one, I can say for sure one in my life, for sure. And I found it in the garbage. It was like an estate garbage. It wasn't like someone's dinner garbage. It was like an estate kind of thing. Anyhow, it was like a Halloween themed ghost chapstick applicator. It was like a cute ghost. That's what caught my eye. I'm like, oh, Halloween thing. And then it was it was like a squeezy rubber figurine, yay big, and then it was like a chapstick thing holder, and I think I had a box too, like an estate thing, right? So I think I sold for like $20. I mean, it's great because it was free, and that was awesome, and that feels good, clean flip, but that's it. And this is what I do every day. You see what I do. I'm doing this all day. What's the best Avon thing? Drop me a comment, because folks that like vintage are probably watching this show. If there's something is there like a thing like, oh, you got to get one of those, like, you know what I mean? Find one of those things. I think this is it. I'm happy I went back though. I'm happy I didn't wrap it up because that was kind of funny. What's the difference? This may be funny. Okay, so this is like a grid. You kind of, it's something like, what's the difference like the Titanic and the New York Mets, and you meet in the middle. So let's find one. I'm trying to read this through my phone. Windows 95. Okay, that's old school. So let's see. All right, what's the difference between Windows 95 and Madonna? Windows 95 operates on fewer desktops. All right. How about the Goodyear blimp and a McDonald's hamburger? Here we go. What's the difference? You could theoretically eat the Goodyear blimp. I hear that. I haven't eaten. I'm not here to talk about. I'm not here to virtue signal, but I just haven't had a McDonald's hamburger in a very long time. If you eat them, I'm not going to judge you. This is a judgment-free zone, by the way. On the 1996 My Paper Time Machine. Thanks for sticking around as I just yak off the tracks. But it's fun. I had a cup of coffee. All right, let's see. All right, what's the difference between President Clinton and the New York Mets? The Mets have balls. So, I mean, you're on an airplane, you grab a Mad comic, and this is all before cell phones. This is what I'm talking about. This is the thing you gotta, you fold it over. A fairy tale we'd like to see. Uh-oh. Am I gonna screw this up? No, it's not the fold over, is it? No, it's not. This is it. All right, here we go. Mad folding. And then that's it. Basic learning is ability to think. Basic learning is ability to think. Decorated college campuses bring great parades of parents and graduates to enjoy the satisfying ceremonies. But the really exciting payoff, a student looks for a financially rewarding lifespan. All right, let's see what this is all about. Now you gotta get it really clean, and then it'll look legitimately like an image. If not, it'll kind of look janky. It's worth $5, right? Looking through this with you all. Let's see. The bank. Look at the bank. Let's see. What does it say? Decades of paying off student loan. Look at that. Wow, this is visionary. At the bank. Ay. Oh, Mad Mag. See, I wouldn't have got that when I was 16. You know what I mean? I was worried about driving a car to somewhere where I could play my bass. You know what I mean? I wasn't, So that's it. I appreciate you sticking around with me. There'll be more Paper Time Machine. And as always, thanks for checking in.